than skin. Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. More than skin. Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa.
Everything in the song is either something we have experienced ourselves or that is just really close to our hearts. It might be the most depressing line we've ever written.
This broken, damaged
Please hold. Hey, I'm Christina.
I'm Katherine.
I'm Amy.
I'm Lauren.
And
we're Cimorelli.
We are all sisters and we love to make music together and we upload our videos on Cimorelli Saturdays. We are missing one today, Lisa. She is supporting her husband through his cancer treatments right now, so please keep their family in your prayers. But she is in this song, Skin, that we're gonna be talking about today, so shout out to her voice. So as I said, we're going to be talking about Skin, our new song that just came out May 19th, and we're gonna be explaining the lyrics because we all wrote this song.
Okay, so I initially wrote kind of the chorus, bridge, and outro of this song back in April of 2021 when we were doing a songwriters retreat. And the inspiration originally was for survivors of SA. But as the song kind of was developing and forming, it became this broader theme for anyone. A lot of it's like trauma survivors in different various forms of trauma, but also really just anyone that's ever felt objectified or dehumanized by society. That's like sort of the broader message of the song.
So if you want to hear the full story of the actual writing of and making of the song, we go into depth on that.
So much depth.
In our Cimorelli podcast episode, we're going to link it in the description, but yeah, it's on the Cimorelli podcast. We talk about everything on there. You can hear about all the parts we wrote and blah, 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 whatever, and how it was made. So if you want to check that out, links in the description. So let's get into the song.
Okay, start with the intro. More than skin. Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. More than skin. Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa.
You know, the meaning of this is just that it's a preview of what's to come.
Yes.
Oh, great. Okay.
First verse. They say, smaller is better. Keep it together. Don't take too much space. They say, you are too much, yet you're still not enough. So stay in your place. They say, if you mess up, you'll lose their love. Don't make a mistake. They say, make sure you look perfect. Don't show if you're hurting. Pretend you're okay.
Yeah, I wrote the lyrics to the first verse, and really it was just inspired by this image of a person that feels like an object in so many ways, and they have like this pain, this hurt, this trauma inside of them, but they have this outer package that the world sees, and everything's just buttoned up, and there's this immense pressure inside of them to just hold it in and to appear okay, and just to sort of, so this is sort of like, I guess, exposing and just sort of being very blunt about the standards of the world and the conformity that we feel to be an object and to not even really be a human being.
In the recording, we have all those words like whispered, like the word, the voice of the world. And honestly, when I was recording, it was really creepy. But yeah, we're trying to voice the pressures of the world in that verse.
So then the first pre-chorus is, if beauty is skin deep and that's all I need, why else would I be alive?
Oh!
This part I wrote as sort of just like, again, going back to that theme, but the idea of like, my only purpose is to be an object for other people, to be something that people can look at and be pleased or, you know, okay with based on societal standards. So that was really for the second half of it, like, why else would I be alive? It's like, my only purpose in life is to be something that people look at and that is okay for their eyes to see, which I think is something that a lot of people feel, especially women, like, oh, beauty, that's your only meaning and purpose in life.
We were like agonizing over that a little bit of why else would I be alive?
Yeah.
Remember, we were like, should we say that or should we make it less dark? Because it can be not that dark when you think about it, or it can be really dark when you think about it. But then we're like, yeah, it's gotta be that.
Yeah, and that also goes back to just being objectified.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I'm just the way I look and that's all there is to me. And what else even is my purpose? And then we go into the chorus, which is a response to that.
Yeah.
To the first verse.
Yeah,
thoughts.
the verse, like, they say this, they say that, they say that, and then the chorus is like, okay, but this is what we're saying.
Yeah.
And this is what it was, is the voice of God Like
Yeah.
this is what I was like thinking, like this is what
Aw.
God would say to
Oh,
someone
that's sweet.
if
The truth.
I just want to cry,
Yeah.
if they were feeling that way.
And I like how the pre is kind of, the verse is like what they're saying to you. The pre is how you feel about it. And the chorus is like a
the
positive
truth.
voice
Yeah.
speaking back
That's
to
so
you.
good point. Like it's like reflecting, like
Yeah,
introspecting.
it's like how it's making you feel.
and it's like
Yes,
responding.
that's
Wow, I love that.
I like
didn't
got
think
put
about
that
those
together. I was
angles.
like, that's really interesting.
Okay, chorus. You are more than skin. You are more than bone. You are more than a world grown harsh and cold.
Oh,
You are heart and soul. You are love made whole. You are more than the world will ever know.
oh,
I mean, I don't know. What's your guys'? I guess I wrote that part, but I'm like, what? I'm trying to think. When I wrote it, it was just like flowing out of me like very easily. Like I almost feel like it was like an inspiration that I just kind of caught. I know it sounds weird, but out of the air. And I don't even really remember myself like thinking of the words. It was more, I was trying to channel a feeling of like talking to this person. Like I was thinking of SA survivors when I wrote the chorus, specifically like that feels like I'm just a body and my body has been like used and I feel like just degraded and broken. And I was just trying to think like, what could I say if I was like talking to this person to just like capture this feeling of like worth and dignity and just give that back to them. And that was the inspiration. Was I was trying to capture a feeling with like images
wow,
in the chorus.
One of my favorite parts is in this section, which is you are more than the world will ever know. We talk about all the things in the verse of like the world, blah, blah, blah. And we just really need a reminder that we're more than they'll ever know. They'll never know it. It's never gonna happen. It's not like that they might know tomorrow. It's like they will never be able to like fully understand like your soul. It's never gonna happen.
Yeah.
So I love that line. One of my
love it
faves.
too.
This song really brings perspective. It's like when you get caught up in the world, you listen to the song, it brings you like, I don't even want to say back down to earth because it's back to, like, to your soul, basically.
or it takes you out of the earth
Really.
Yeah.
into like a higher realm of like your being and your soul.
And I also remember as I was sitting there, I think very like not concrete. My mind is kind of like abstract. I feel like I just think of these feelings and I'm like, ooh, so the survivors was a big thing. And there was another element too that I was thinking of as I was writing this, which is actually like my personal experience of, I was thinking of a specific time we went to LA and we were going on this trip and we were like doing a lot of collabs and stuff. And I remember like, it wasn't anything you guys did. It was more just like the environment of like when you're in LA and you're in the music industry. And I felt like all that really mattered was like, what were my outfits? Like, did I look good? Was my makeup and hair good? It was just like, I felt like kind of an object and a product. And I was reflecting on that time. That was another aspect of that feeling. I was like feeling objectified in general and my experience of that.
So the second half of the chorus, you are more than hurt. You are seen and known.
Oof.
You are more than what's under your clothes.
Oof.
And no one can take what's under your skin.
I love it.
What's under your skin.
So we had a conversation about whether it should be you are more than heard, you are seen and known, or you are more than hurt, you are seen and known. And I liked hurt the most. We were kind of going back and forth. I liked hurt the most because yeah, you can start to feel like you are just like the pain that's inside of you, the pain of like everything that's happened to you.
Lauren
That's the
wrote
meaning of
this
that.
line. So what would you say was your inspiration?
It's just like another reminder, I guess, that like,
Yeah.
and really what I meant with that line is like, you're seen and known by God was really what I was
that.
saying.
I love that.
Yeah.
You're more than what's under your clothes. I also wrote that line.
I
Because-
love that line.
That's a good one.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, it's self-explanatory, but I just feel like it was very like visual way to
Mhm.
explain that. And no one can take what's under your skin. That line is
Oh,
just so
that
perfect.
just
'Cause it's like, no
It
one can
cuts
take
so
your
deep.
dignity. No one
Yeah.
can take like your soul or who you
Mhm.
are. No matter what
Yeah.
anyone does to you, they can't get there. They can't get you there.
I love
Yeah, you
it.
have all this
Yeah.
physical stuff someone can touch, someone can change, you can feel a certain way about, but no one can ever take, touch, see, know, like they can't get to your soul, which is kind of cool. You have that one thing, it can never be.
Yeah, and I also love that
It's
in the
crazy.
chorus we say, we not only say you are more than this, you're more than that, but we say what you are. Your
Mhm.
love made whole, your heart and soul. Like, I think one of the original ones I had was your fears and goals. Like, I was just trying to think of like, what are things that are like no one can take it from you. It's your unique identity. And that line specifically, no one can take what's under your skin. I definitely wrote that one specifically for like survivors of just like,
Mhm.
I feel like that's very self-explanatory.
Yeah.
But like, you might feel like your body has been like I don't know, hurt by someone else or like degraded, but there's a big part of you that no matter what anyone does to you physically, like no one can take that dignity that you have, that God has given you.
It is crazy that we need a reminder you are heart and soul. Weird.
We do.
It's weird because it sounds so obvious, but when you listen to it, you're like, oh, I forgot about that. I mean, oftentimes we just reduce ourselves solely to our appearance, our bodies, our exterior. It's so hard to remember that you are more than that. You are heart and soul. So that's what I love. I don't really hear that message very often. Second verse.
Okay. They say, don't be a burden. Don't show when you're hurting. Just keep it inside.
Ooh.
So you smile, but when you're alone, the scars on your arms show the truth that you hide.
Okay, so I wrote most of the second verse and then I brought it in and we all like workshopped it.
Yeah.
I remember they had sent me the first verse through the chorus and I was like, where should we take the second one? Because I was like, should we go in the same direction of like appearance kind of stuff and like the standards from the world? Or should we take it in a really
go deeper,
dark direction? And I was like, are they gonna think this is too dark? Who was I talking to? Lauren, she's not gonna think
One
that.
of these things are too dark.
Oh, we talked about this in the podcast. Lauren always writes the darkest lyrics for the most part. Sometimes
Yeah.
Lisa does too. So I remember I wrote the line, don't show when you're hurting, which is also in the first verse. And I was like, oh, we just need to change it in the first verse. I feel like it fits in the second verse better. And then we didn't even realize that after a while.
Wait,
Then I was
I
like,
didn't know that. Wait, I didn't even
It's
realize
in
that right
both
now.
verses.
But the first verse don't show if
If.
you're hurting. Second one is don't show when.
When?
Oh, is that why I was like confused if I said the wrong word?
Yes. So I was like, is that bad?
Do I sing it both times and it's a different word and I didn't even notice?
You're the one who sings it both times?
Yes.
Weird. So anyway, it says the same line.
I didn't even notice.
And Amy didn't even notice. But I feel like that's fine that it repeats because it's like just doubling down on the message of keeping everything inside. So anyway,
So weird.
I was thinking I really want to talk about self-harm in this song. We don't have a song where we mention it. It's like a big part of our career in a way. Let me explain that. So when we first came out with You're Worth It, around that time, when was that? 2013? We would get so many, I mean like thousands of messages of young girls telling us like their deepest, darkest secrets. And a really common message we would get was, I'm struggling with self-harm.
Oh, so sad.
And I haven't told anyone. You guys are the only people I've ever told. And it was just thousands of girls telling us that. And then when we would go do our concerts, we would like see these girls' scars right in front of us. And it was just like night after night, just like so many girls showing their scars. And they would say like, this is the first time like I was confident enough to show them in public, or just, you know, maybe they weren't showing them, but they like told us about them behind the scenes. So our songs have really touched, especially these young girls who struggle with self-harm. I don't know, that's just been like a really big part of, I just think about that a lot.
And
when we write songs.
Also, we get a lot of messages from people telling us like, I'm this many days clean from self-harm. Like people that were trying to overcome it, which was really like touching and powerful, that they were like, they saw us as like an accountability person to like not do that, which is amazing. But yeah, that was definitely like a really intense experience.
Yeah, so I've always wanted to have it in a song, but then I didn't really know if that was like too much. So I was just like going out on a limb like, what do you guys think? Is this too much? But
I was really
like,
happy
no.
when you said that, because I was like, yes, we need this. We've never said anything, and we
'cause
need this.
in this verse specifically, we really, and by we I mean Christina when she wrote it, but also we, when we all came together, wanted to get into like the dark depths of the human condition of like the things that people do and that we do when people don't see, and like the ways in which we're self-destructive because of all of the pressure and all the harm and all the things that have been done to us. And I think that it's so important to have that in this song, because it's like a whole other facet of the message, and it makes it a lot more well-rounded, the entire song. Because as I was saying earlier, it's like what they say, how you feel about it, what another thing speaking back to it, and then it's like what you do because of the things that have been done to you.
So to explain that, if you need an explanation, this is really describing the girl that is smiling on the outside. She's hiding these scars, and these scars are this physical representation of everything she's going through and so much pain that she's going through, but it doesn't come out anywhere else besides her scars, which are hidden, they're secret. And that's a big part of the song.
So then the second half of the second verse, they say, your pain's inconvenient, he didn't mean it, just push down the shame. They say, the hurt that you're feeling, it doesn't have a meaning, so you drink it away.
Okay, so I remembered in the back of my mind that this was inspired by SA Survivor, so I really wanted to put that in there. So for anyone who doesn't understand, I feel like some people actually won't understand what that means. This is talking about someone who's experienced SA, and people are telling them, they really are saying, your pain is inconveniencing me right now, or inconveniencing this guy and his life and his future, whatever the heck. So they're like, this is inconvenient right now. He didn't even mean it like that. Gaslighting, denying, all these things. Just push it down, whatever, forget it. Which, unfortunately, this is such a common experience.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it is so common. So a lot of people, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. If you haven't experienced yet or have a friend who's gone through it yet, you won't know, but unfortunately, you probably will know at some point.
Another aspect about this line that's really, really sad is that it sort of like comes from the notion that this person has actually told someone, which most people never tell anyone, keep it inside. And this person has told someone, and they have basically completely invalidated their experience, which is like another layer of trauma there. So that line is very powerful, the way that's phrased.
It's so common for it to be completely just invalidated, and that's really sad.
And you could take this other ways as well, because it's a common thing to be reaching out, trying to get help. It's a cry for help. You're like trying to talk to someone, and your pain is so like inconvenient to, whether it's like your parents or it could be anyone. Pain can be so inconvenient to people because it makes a lot of people really uncomfortable, like emotions do. So I think it's a really common thing, not even just with SA, for you guys watching, for all of us to reach out to someone and for them to just be inconvenienced and kind of shut you down and silence you when you're actually using your voice, which is meant to be used. So I really want to put that out there.
Yeah, because I think a lot of people get that reaction when they're trying to get help for like mental health issues.
Well, I know that's true because we've gotten so many messages about it. You guys are like, what do I say to my parents? Like, they're not taking this seriously. I'm terrified to say anything. Like, I've messaged back so many messages like that before.
Well, I think that goes into the next line. They say the hurt that you're feeling doesn't have a meaning, like especially with like mental health things. It's like, oh, well,
it doesn't really mean anything. It's not that important, not that serious.
Like
brushing you off, that happens so much. It's all in your head or whatever the heck. Just just get over it. Just go to the gym.
Just go to the gym.
All that kind of stuff.
I literally think that.
And then we've never mentioned drinking in a song. It's odd because we don't drink, but it's also not odd because most of the world does drink. So,
and it's interesting because the line is, so you drink it away, and we're referencing drinking pain away. And if you think about it, alcohol is referenced in songs so much, and 99.9% of the time it's a positive reference.
It's like celebrating.
Like, I'm celebrating, but I think there's actually a lot of people out there that are drinking to cope with pain. And it's, again, in secret, something that people don't see.
So I'll tell you, my inspo for that was, we did that video where we talked about purity culture, the toxic side, last fall, and got like messages and a bunch of comments on it, so many. And I was really inspired by that because a lot of people were talking about SA on that video. And a lot of them, there was a really sad common theme I kept seeing of people feeling like they were just damaged goods after, and they were like, well, I need to find something to do with all this pain. And a lot of them, they were talking about how they turned to partying and to drinking specifically, or drugs, whatever, to try to cope with the pain, numb the pain. Obviously that's not going to heal anything, but that is a really, really common thing, especially for young women or girls even. They are violated, then they're scared to speak up, or they're totally shut down when they speak up, and then they turn to substances to find anything they can to try to numb this incredible pain they're carrying around every single day. So I wanted to put that in, even though it's weird because we don't drink, but it's such a common thing, and it's something, once again, that was like brought to us with these comments and these messages, and something that I've, met plenty of people close to me have experienced. So everything in the song is either something we have experienced ourselves, or that is just really close to our hearts because people that are close to us or that matter a lot to us have experienced it.
So then the second pre is, if I'm already broken and everyone knows it, then why should I be alive?
It's so like difficult when you like go to reach out for help, or like you make your problems more public in a way of like telling people, letting people in. Like you feel like
Shame.
all of a sudden, you're
Feel
just like
ashamed.
this broken, damaged person.
Please hold.
When you've gone through things and people find out about it, or like you tell people about it, you can kind of feel, cause I felt this a lot in my life of like, oh, I'm just this like broken, damaged person and everyone knows it. And it's so like shameful to feel like, I have a problem. I like how it's in this song because it's such an common reaction to things happening to us because we're human and bad things happen to us. And I also love how we are really putting out there like, then why should I be alive? Like that question, because I think most people ask themselves that question at least once in their life. And it's so important to give a voice to that and to be like, look, even though you've asked this question, you're not alone in asking this question. There's so many reasons why you are and why you should be.
This is definitely like the scariest line
Yeah.
in the song because it might be the most depressing or the most like I don't know what
Start?
kind of line we've ever written.
This
one
that
definitely
pretty-
definitely hits. And everyone knows it specifically. That part is like the shame of walking around with people judging you or you perceiving people judging you and how much that kills, especially like as a teenager, to think like everyone knows this thing about me. Everyone thinks I'm insert derogatory names here. Everyone thinks all this stuff about me. Should I even be alive anymore? Which is that is just so heartbreaking. Feeling like the world has this opinion of you and that causes you to even question your own existence. Unfortunately, way too common. So we go from that line of literally questioning, if I'm broken and everyone is judging me basically and thinks I'm a piece of trash, do I even have the right to live anymore?
Yeah.
Which is so depressing, but unfortunately so common. And we add one word before the chorus here, which is cuz.
Which is
So
so
powerful.
good.
I've never seen a
It's
conjunction
like a
work
direct
so hard.
response, which I know the other one is too, but it's like, why should I be alive? Cause
You're more
when
than
that word, I just get full body chills.
I
when
know,
hear it.
it's
I'm
So
like,
true though.
So the chorus there is canceling out all those opinions of people. Like, nope,
Yeah.
your soul, this, that, and the other thing, they can't see that. Sorry.
Well,
See
it
everyone's
effectively,
opinions.
the cuz makes it effectively a question or an answer to the question we just asked.
Yeah.
Instead of just like a random voicing of positive things, it makes it
Yeah.
a direct answer to that actual question.
My hope for that is that people in this exact situation will hear the chorus and they will get their answer of why they should be alive.
They'll hear that cuz and they'll be like, this
And
is
it's
cuz.
it's right there. That's the reasons right there. So now let's go to the bridge.
I am a daughter. I am a sister. I am a mother. I am. I am stronger. I am a fighter. I am a survivor. I am.
Oof.
So
I love it.
the original inspiration for the bridge lyrics was I was trying to think about what are the identities that people hold that no one can take from you, no one can touch. Like not something like
True.
your job that you could lose or, oh, I'm like this famous person, you could lose fame. Like there's a lot of things in the world that are passing away. But really what it came down to for me is like, and I think women especially relate to this, like a daughter, a sister, a mother, it's like relationships. That's like a really important part of our life. And I feel like seeing someone in that way humanizes them and reminds you that no one is an object. It's funny because I was actually pregnant with my twins at the time. So I wrote like, I'm a mother, but I wasn't actually like, mothering them outside of the womb at that time. But yeah, that was kind of special. It really was just about like, I wanted to respond to the question of like, where does my identity lie if I'm not an object? And then the second half, of course, like I'm stronger, I'm a fighter, I'm a survivor. Like I just wanted to kind of pump people up and make them feel like you've been through a lot and that's really cool. I think I actually was inspired because I was thinking of the song Fighter by Christina Aguilera and I'd listened to that song like recently and I think the chorus especially like really spoke to me. Just that idea of like the things that you've been through, they make you stronger. And it was sort of like a positive spin when you've been through like really bad things.
So then there's like a little tagline in the outro, which is, they'll never take what's under your skin. They'll never break what's under your skin.
I love it.
That's probably my favorite part of the whole song.
It's so
Just
good.
like whenever I hear it, I'm just
Yeah.
struck to the core. But that was also another line that just came to me like really quickly and easily when I was writing the other parts. Like,
Yeah.
this is a great place to kind of like end the song.
We turned the chorus to an I.
Oh,
Point of view, perspective, first person. Is that first person
Yes.
perspective? Yes. We turned it to first person perspective to kind of, I don't know, it kind of symbolizes like taking the you're more than skin and owning it yourself.
When I changed to I was thinking about you're worth it and how we're like you. And I was like, you know what? It would be nice to be like, I'm worth it. So I was like, I feel like we need the place where we're actually saying it like to ourselves in this would be
Yeah.
cool. And then I feel like it does feel good as a listener to be like, I am more than skin. It feels
Yeah,
really
'cause
good.
you go on this whole journey. I'm like now obsessed with the journey of the song. You go from the positive messaging that's being told to you to like the pump up of your identity in the bridge to like owning it and believing it in the end, which I think is really cool.
Okay, so that's the whole song. You can stream it everywhere. Skin, Cimorelli. If you want to hear about the music video, all the behind the scenes details, and the behind the scenes details of making the song, we did 2 podcast episodes about that, the Cimorelli podcast. That's linked in the description. And we're going to tell you about the new merch.
All right, so this is the merch for Skin. It's got a rib cage.
Wait, one sec. You have a hair on your shirt. Maybe we should redo it.
Okay.
Sorry. Sure.
So it's got a rib cage on it, and it says more than skin, more than bone. I don't know if you can see this. More than the world will ever know.
Come on.
Which, you know, lines from the chorus. So we have this crew neck, and then we also have a t-shirt that's the same color. So just those 2 pieces. And this is coming out on May 30th, Tuesday at 11 a.m. EST. So you can click the link in the description to get that.
Make sure you click subscribe, join us here in the Sim Fam. We aim to be a positive and uplifting community. We love to live, laugh, love, and personally grow together. So if that sounds good to you, make sure you subscribe and turn on your notifications.
Thanks for watching. We love the Sim Fam. To not feel hopeless in life regarding romantic relationships.
It's gonna change, and you gotta embrace where you are.